for me as an artist, I really feel like film has an obligation to sort of represent the world around it. Art should represent the world at its time and the world around it. And 20% of the population has a disability. 80% of the population will become disabled in their lifetime.
Wow.
And we don't see that in the media. We see barely a percentage of that.
Right.
And then, in addition, as an actor with a disability, for me, I want the job, right?
Right.
And if you look at all of these Oscar winners, the majority of them are for playing disabled roles by able-bodied people
Right.
who, while it's amazing to see someone transform, imagine what it's like when somebody brings true authenticity to the role. And only twice have Oscars gone to people with disabilities for playing people with disabilities. It was Marley Matlin in the 80s,
Yep.
Harold Russell in the 1940s.
Wow.
And so already that lesson should have been learned,
Right.
but it hasn't. We still digitally disable people,
Right.
and uh, we don't at least do the opposite. And so for people with disabilities who are actors, if we're only considered for roles that are disabled, we're not considered for anything else that mentions disability.
Yep.
Like if it doesn't say father in a wheelchair, uncle in a wheelchair, teacher in a wheelchair, I'm not going to be brought in for the role. And then if the lead role is blank guy in a wheelchair, but they only go, hey, we only want famous people to bring in the dollars for this role, then it's up to those famous people at that point to go, hey, I would rather not, I would rather someone from this community represent it as
Right.
authentically as possible.
Right.
And I do the same thing recently. There was a role that came to me that was for, it was for someone that was gay. And I, as an actor, am fine portraying that. But as a human being, knowing that I have friends of that community that can authentically represent that, I don't want to take that opportunity from them, right?
Yep.
So, and it has to go across the board. And
Yep.
more importantly, children in the world should see examples of themselves on the screens that they're watching so that
Right.
they know they can do whatever they want.